Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we have quite a slate to go over, as we have 7 games in the NBA and 13 in the NHL. So a big hockey card. I've already moved on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in the NHL. So I really like this card. I've already fully attacked it. And I have not moved on anything in the NBA. I've moved on a few college basketball plays. Did a free pick video on one last night. So for those who haven't checked out the free pick video, Western Carolina money line. There you go. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll quickly recap because we do have a long show coming ahead of us here. And it was a slightly update for me, up about 0.55 units, but any day in the black is a good day. We'll start in the NBA where I went 3-3 down 0.818 units. I was a sicko, and I laid a number with the Washington Wizards, and they win by 12. The only problem is I killed that game by betting the over. That game finishes at 212. I had over 226. I was a loser. Philly, New Orleans over 221.5. Loser. Every game went under last night, I think, except for, I think, 2 went over. One of them went over because the game went to overtime. So I got the overtime game over the 207, Cleveland, Minnesota. That game was tanking under. Neither team hit 100 until we played an extra 5 minutes of basketball, and the game finished 113-104 Cleveland. So winner on the 207 there. Probably the easiest. Actually, I wanted to say the easiest winner of the night, but there was another game that was another easy winner. But how about the New York Knicks last night, Tim? 98-74 win over the Orlando Magic. The New York Knicks last night allowed the least amount of points of the NBA season, 74.
That's crazy.
That was the lowest a team had scored all season long. And it was those New York Knicks. And here's the crazy thing with the New York Knicks, which makes me very excited about them come playoff time, is they're not 100% right now. This team, they have Jalen Brunson in. This team with Julius Randle and OG and Anunoby and their full cast of characters could go to the Eastern Conference Finals, if not win the Eastern Conference, if not win the Finals. Like, they have that type of potential.
No.
I think when fully healthy,
Mm-mm.
I think so. But I am very interested in moving on New York Knicks futures. Very, very interested in doing that, which I might get to. We'll see. And then Atlanta, Memphis over 215.5 was embarrassingly bad. 99-92. Nobody even touched 100 in that game. So another under in a Memphis game. So 3-3, kind of broke even on a down 0.18 units in the NBA. NHL went 1-2, but honestly, my easiest winner of the night was in the NHL. How about them? Arizona Coyotes, plus 120. They score 3 in the first period, tack on another one in the second period, and shut them out. They play shutdown hockey in the third period and win 4-0 over the Red Wings. And we will be talking about the Red Wings today towards the end of the show, because they are one of the last games on the card. And that game, I think, is my favorite game of the day. I think the Red Wings are to be faded going forward, big time. They're 2-6 without Dylan Larkin. They've really struggled. They're offensively, they look lost without him. Ingram last night got his 6th shutout of the season. which is tied for first place in the NHL for shutouts between, you guessed it, Connor Ingram and Tristan Jarry. Yep.
Yeah, of course.
Two teams that will not be going to the playoffs this year. Colorado team total over 3.5 loses, but they win in overtime. So I should have laid off that game. I felt like I forced action on that one. And then the Kraken, it was 0-0 in the third period, and the Jets score 3 in the third period, win 3-0. I forgot that one of my books gave me a $25 free bet. So I put a 3-teamer together of Arizona, Colorado, and Seattle. And if Seattle would have won last night, I would have won $140 on that, on a 25. Wow. But yeah. But what really saved my night, because NHL went 1-2 down 1.10 units. What really saved my night was college basketball, Tim, because I only played 2 games, 2 dogs, spread and money line. And that was it. We had San Diego plus the 3.5 and plus the 140, the Torreos. Plus 3.5 plus 140 against Pepperdine, who kicked the ever-living crap out of Pacific 2 days ago. Couldn't bounce back, couldn't get back on the court and do it again yesterday. So UC San Diego was a nice little winner there. And how about a little OT winner at the end of the night there? An outright doggy winner. Boise State goes into San Diego State and wins outright 79-77, plus 7.5, plus 275 money line Boise line winner. So that was a nice way to end the night. 8-5 overall yesterday, up 0.55 units. 67-48-1, up 9.53 units in the month of March for me. So it's been a good month of March so far, and I look to hopefully continue that here.
Yeah. Last night on the site was good, Nick. It was a 5-2 night because we had 7 plays up. No hockey. Because no hockey got put up last night. We did have the Washington.
It would have split out anyway.
We did have the Washington Wizards minus the 2. Nice winner there. Buffalo, which was a loser. The Bulls. Cleveland Cavaliers, winner in overtime. I figured it would be a bad spot for Minnesota, coming off of a big win against Indiana. Last second shot to kind of take control of that game. They felt the absence of Karl Anthony Towns in this game. Cleveland ended up winning by 9 in overtime. Tulane minus the 3. San Diego money line plus 115. We did have the Milwaukee Bucks minus 126. Unfortunately, they lost by 1 to the Lakers. And then Boise State plus 8 was a nice, easy winner, considering that they won the game outright. Ultimately, good night. 5-2, up 2.8 units. And hopefully we can continue the good stuff going into today's games.
Yep.
If you're able to go talk to the chat, I'm quickly tracking all the basketball plays. And then next chat, you can start putting up hockey, and I'll check all the hockey plays so that all the member onlys get the plays up before all the games start.
Yep. Yeah. RIP to the Buckies. Well, that's Cash Twins. Morning gang. What's good, Moneyline Mills? Fuck the Bucks. Dame choked last night. Killed my parlays. Unbelievable.
Bucks are
I'm on college basketball. There you go. Or CCB. What's CCB?
Bakersfield?
Maybe. Duke all day, twice on Saturday. Let's cash. I lean Duke in that game.
I'm not betting it, but I'm rooting for Carolina.
5.5, that Duke line. I think that tells you everything you need to know. Duke's going to win by double digits today.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling they are, but I'm not betting
slate. Yeah, big slate. Morning ESB. Let's hit them bookie where it hurts. Let's do it. Hey, Twins, Iowa State line is so fishy, but Kansas State is a turnover machine. Yeah. Fade the Red Wings without Larkin. That was so bad to watch. Arizona was so easy yesterday. And I felt like everybody on the Red Wings, because Arizona is a bad team. Sometimes bad teams come through.
Yep.
And maybe bad teams can come. Oh, wait, no, never mind. We're starting with the NBA. I was just about to say maybe bad teams can come through and click on the Buffalo Sabres game. But we'll head into the because Tim can't stay with us. He lacks heart and commitment the whole show.
No.
We will start with the lesser of the two sports, the NBA. So let's get my NBA numbers up real quick, and let's get into that, where we have the Clippers and the Bulls. We had the Clippers as 7.5-point favorites, total of 220.5. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here. This line opened up at a 9, and now we're seeing 7s for the Clippers. So we've had a 2-point line movement towards Chicago in this game here. Line opened up at a 221.5. It's down to 220. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards the Bulls in this game here. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, or the cash flow in this one. We don't have much in this game. 2,600 tickets in, where we have 99% of tickets are on the Bulls. The lines moved 2 points towards the Bulls, so I guess that makes sense. 60% of the tickets are on the under 220.5. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards the Bulls, and that all checks out there. My number for this game was a 7.5 range, so I thought that line was pretty correct there. And I have this game projected around 225-ish. So I see value on the over in this game, but the market moving towards the under I don't really know the market too much on this total because we don't have a cash flow, but looks like the market's kind of pointing towards this will be an under, which will be enough for me to stay off the spot.
I'll be honest today. The NBA slate is kind of trash. I'm not laying 7.5 points on the Clippers today because I see Fernando mentioning it. Westbrook, game time decision. Leonard, game time decision. George, game time decision. Harden, game time decision. So it's just a whole cluster of who's actually going to play. I feel like if you're interested in the Bulls, bet them now. This will be the best line you get them at. Because once players start dropping, if players start dropping for the Clippers, that's when you're going to get a better line for the Clippers if you like them. I'm personally kind of staying away from this game. Maybe an under could be an interesting spot just because if there is a bunch of players, it might cause a little bit of less offense on the side of the Clippers. But I got one play on today's card. So not a fun day in the NBA for me. This one's a pass to start the game. Start the day, I should say.
Fair enough.
And as we mentioned, bunch of GTDs to start off the day, which is just what you want to see. And keep in mind, guys, there's a big college basketball card today, so you don't need to go crazy on NBA, especially in March.
Yeah, and a decent sized hockey card too.
Correct.
We'll head over to we'll go to this game. The Brooklyn Nets -6.5, total of 207 here against the Charlotte Hornets, where we have the Charlotte Hornets minus. They opened up at +6, or the Nets opened up at a 6. It's up to a 6.5. So we've had to move towards Brooklyn in this spot here. Line opened up at a 211.5, down to a 207.5. We do have the Hornets on the second half of a back-to-back. They lost to the mighty Wizards last night. 52% of tickets and 73% of the cash on the Hornets, and yet this line's moved from a 6 to a 6.5. So more tickets, more money on the Hornets, and they're becoming bigger dogs. 86% of the tickets are on the under. The line's plummeted for this game here, which I have a feeling is going to mean this is going to be a play for me. I have this game projected in the high 2 teens for this game. So I see value on this over. The market's plummeting. So this is another one of those spots in the NBA that I've been looking at lately where I'm looking to find these lines that are absolutely plummeting and bet the game over the total. And I think this is where I'm going to go for this one as well. I had this game projected at a 4, but that doesn't add in the factor that this is a back-to-back for the Hornets as well. I have no interest in the Hornets whatsoever. However, I will move on this over. I will move on the over at 207. This line, I think, is just too low. And maybe it is too low. Maybe the line, maybe this game tanks under and nobody touches 100 in this game. But I'll take a shot here with the over 207.
I want nothing to do with this game. It would be a lean towards the Hornets, but them on a second leg of a back-to-back. They are coming off of losing to the Wizards. So if that brings you any confidence in that, then cool. But I'm not touching the Hornets. I refuse to bet them for the rest of the year, and I'm not laying 6.5 points on the Nets, especially on the road. So no, this is not a game that you need to get involved in. There's a couple of games like that are just disgusting that we really don't need to touch, and this is another one of those that I am not even coming close.
Fair enough.
Person on Twitch now, official unreactable plays says, "Hey guys, what's up? Let's jump into this one, Nick."
Yeah, where we have the Dallas Mavericks. They're at the Detroit Piston, just the one Piston, because I forgot to type in the S there. Total 234. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where the Mavericks opened up at an 8.5. It's down to a 7.5. Line opened up at a 238. It's down to a 235. So we've had a 3-point line movement towards the under. We've had a 1-point line movement towards the Pistonians in this one here. We have 62% of the tickets are on the under. The 3-point line movement towards the under makes sense. 63% of the tickets are on the Pistons. No cash flow, 6,300 tickets in. So we've had a move towards the Pistons. We've been moved towards the under, and tickets are coming on both those. We have no cash flow on any of this, though, which makes things kind of tricky for this game here. I have this game projected at around a 5.5. So I see some nice value here with Detroit in this game. And I have this game projected around the 238 where this line opened up. So I do lean over the total in this game. And maybe this is a Detroit team total over, full game over type of split against the Mavericks in this spot would be where I'm leaning in this game. Let's take a look. It's 234.5. So this line continues to move down. And it's a 113.5. I'm kind of tempted for this double up team total over, full game over. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into it. But I think I'm going to take the Pistons team total over 113.5 and the full game over 233.5.
This is a must-win game for the Mavericks. Considering that, I'm not sure if must-win is the right word. If they want to get themselves into a playoff spot instead of a play-in spot, these are must-win games. The Pistons are not mathematically eliminated just yet, but a loss today will mathematically eliminate them from the playoffs. The Washington Wizards, after a win last night, are still mathematically eliminated from the playoffs now. We've got our second team, and after tonight, we'll probably get our third team because I see Dallas winning tonight. Obviously, they're 8-point favorites. I'm not laying 8 points on the road. It's for total. I don't really know if I could really jump on an over here. Another game. This is just a slate that I just do not like today. So I know it might be a little bit boring. I'm not betting a lot of NBA games today, but these games are not appetizing. And I think tomorrow I might have some better games.
I'm going to take it here. I'm going to double up on this over. The Mavericks defensively have been pretty bad as well. So I'm going to grab that Pistons team total over 113.5 at -110 and the full game over 234.5 -110 as well.
There you go. What's up, fellas? What's up, wine time? Let's get that cash. Let's do it. Stacks pod today for Mr. Justin is Kentucky +7.5. Get it. Let's ride into the one game that I do have a bet in, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Boston Celtics 5.5-point road favorites, total of 227.5 in this game, or 227 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where we have the Celtics. They opened up. Where are they? Celtics right here. All right. They opened up at a click. Please. There we go.
Click. Got it.
Open up at a 5.5. It's still a 5.5. Line opened up at a 227. It's down to a 226.5. So we've had a half-point line movement towards the under. We've had no movement towards the side. We have 77% of tickets are on the Celtics, 3,668 tickets in, 66% of the tickets are on the over, and a half-point line movement towards the under. I have this game projected Where is it? Around 228. So I think this line's about correct. And I actually had a slight edge towards the Suns in this game. I have it projected at a 4, but am I interested in fading the Celtics after a loss last game? No. So it's a pass for me.
Yeah. I'm on the Celtics. Minus the 5.5. That's the only play I have for today. Celtics coming off of back-to-back losses against the two teams that I have projected to go to the finals. So not really bad losses because they lost to Cleveland and Denver. Those are the two teams I predict will make the NBA finals. So I think there's a good bounce back spot here. This is a Suns team that I'm not super high on. And everybody knows that I'm not super high on this team. They couldn't cover versus the Toronto Raptors. They were coming off of a big overtime win versus the Nuggets, though. So kind of a letdown spot there in terms of not covering. But I am on the Celtics here. Bounce back spot. They lost 2 games in a row, Nick, for the first time this season. For the second time this season, because they did it against Minnesota and Minnesota and Philly, earlier in the year, November 6th and 8th. I don't see them getting to 3 losses in a row. I do like the Celtics in this one.
Fair. Yeah.
Celtics, minus 1.5 first half. These injury reports are getting ridiculous. Tatum, Quinta, Brown, Booker. I know that they are a little bit wonky today. That's another reason why I'm kind of just staying off a bunch of these games. Minus the fact that you got like Golden State at a 10.5 point favorite.
Yeah. Golden State 10.5 point favorites, total of 227 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here where we have Golden State opening up at a 8. They're up 2-11. So this line's moved 3 points towards the Warriors. Line opened up at a 229. It's down to a 227.5. So we've had to move towards the under. We've had to move towards the Warriors. 50% of the tickets, 95% of the cash is on the Spurs, but yet this line's moved towards the Warriors, which is telling me the public likes the Spurs and the books are sitting back and saying, keep betting the Spurs. 66% of the tickets are on the over as well. No cash flow here. I have this game projected at 10.8, so I think this number is right. And I have this game projected for 238. Whoa, I have this game projected way higher than it is. How is this total this low? Is my first thought, and I would like some over in this game. Looking at it here, how is this total moved real quick? Because if it's moved towards the over, it's moved towards the under. It opened up at 229, it's down to 227.5, but yet all 66% of the tickets are on the over, which tells me that the books are not scared of that over money, which is going to keep me off of it here. But it would be a lean towards the over, nothing for me. And I kind of think the Warriors blow them out of the building here. So
they should. Am I laying 10.5 points on the road? No. At home or in general, sorry. No. No. This is a zero game that I want. If anything, I know you were leaning towards the over. I was kind of leaning under. And the only reason why is would be surprised if we came back tomorrow and this game was 120-98. Or 120-86. An absolute blowout. No, I wouldn't be surprised. Would it be surprising if this game finished 103-101? No. Like, this is a game that I can look towards an under. I feel like that could be an interesting play, but not a play that I would want to get to. So, once again, not interested. And here's big news. Apparently Curry's out.
And the line's moved up.
And so is Victor Wembanyama.
There it is. Okay.
So, a lot of these games are just awful today, I gotta say. But let's just keep running through them because these are ugly games. Although there is a Nikola Jokic's game time decision today. Should play though.
Yeah, I remember the last game he cashed me a plus 650 same gamer. If you guys were on Nerd Talk. With the 25, the 12, and the 10, and the Nuggets money line. But we had the Nuggets as 12.5 point home favorites. Kind of ridiculous. Total of 227.5. Line opened up at a 230. It's down to a 228. Line opened up at 12.5. Went down to a 12 at one point. Back up to a 12.5. We have 55% of the tickets and 53% of the cash on the Jazz. The line's really not moved. It moved slightly towards the Jazz. It moved to half point, but it's come back. 37% of tickets, 79% of the cash on the over in this game as well. I have this game projected at an 8.75. So I have this game anywhere between 8.5 and 9. I get it. Utah Jazz on the road is not something you particularly, and these are two teams which will probably end up keeping me off, but actually, are the Nuggets really only 15 and 16 ATS at home this year?
Sounds right. Because they're always big favorites.
Yeah, they're 25 and 6 at home this year, 15 and 16 ATS at home this year. And the Jazz are 9 and 23 on the road this year and 14 and 18. I want to move on the Jazz in this game. The plus 12.5 in this game. And another reason why is, number one, do you expect them to do you expect the Nuggets or 12.5 I think is just too many points in general in this game. My numbers agree with that as well. And I get it. We have a team that struggles on the road that you would rather back at home versus a team you would only want to back at home, basically, in the Nuggets. But with them being a 12.5 point favorite, who did the Nuggets beat last game?
The Celtics.
This could be a little bit of a letdown spot. I'm not saying Jazz outright in this game, but Nuggets by 5, Nuggets by 7, Nuggets by 10.
I can make one other argument for not thinking that, obviously, besides them being a 12.5 point dog. Last time that Utah and Denver faced off against each other, Utah won by 13. But
how long ago was that?
January 10th, so 2 months ago.
I don't care. I'm going to move on the Jazz at plus 12.5 in this game. And, of course, I sprinkle a small bit on the plus 550, but very, very small on the plus 550.
Good luck. I'm not going to.
Yeah, it's just too many points for a team coming in off of one of their biggest wins of the year, the Nuggets, against the Celtics.
I mean, Clay today. Clay could go off because there's no other players to with no Curry. But let's finish on out today with a 1-800-GAMBLER game, Nick.
Yeah, but who doesn't love these 1-800-GAMBLER games? We have the Portland Trail Blazers taking on the Toronto Raptors in this game here, where we have the Raptors as 3-point road favorites. Starting to see some 2.5s pop up. Total of 227. Line opened up at a 1.5. It's up to a 3 for Toronto. Line opened up at a 224.5. It's up to a 227 in this game here. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot here, with 67% of the tickets are on the Raptors. The line's moving towards them. 40% of the tickets and 95% of the cash on the over. The line's moving towards the over as well. I had this game projected as Toronto as a 1-point favorite, so I thought the opening line was correct. And I have this game projected for around 226. So I think 226.5 range. So I think this line is about correct when it comes to the side. The line is about correct when it comes to the total. And that's going to be the end of my card here in the NBA, is just a couple early overs and then the Jazz early. That's for me. No play here.
I want nothing to do with this game either. Just going to stick with my one play, which is the Boston Celtics today. I'm not trusting the Toronto Raptors on the road, and Portland is pretty. How close are they to being officially eliminated? There's still a couple games away from getting eliminated. They would be the next team in the West to get eliminated, but nothing going for me to close out today's card. That's all for the NBA today.
Fair.
Bulls outright. I can see the Bulls outright. Blazers are nothing, and then Celtics. There you go. We'll hop over to hockey, and this is where I'll hand off the reins. I gotta go. I got something I have to go do. So I'll let Nick talk over hockey. Enjoy today's card and go Sabres.
Yeah. All right. So it's just gonna be me running the rest of the show here. We have 13 games in the NHL, where we have. We're going to kick it off here with the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the New Jersey Devils in this game. Hurricanes minus 145 favorites with a total of 6.5 in this spot. Let's get into the line history. I'm just moving over my line history from the NBA to the NHL. So we are able to do that. Switch over there. There we go. And then do not need that. There we go. It's finally loaded. So let's get the line history up here. Where this line opened up with Carolina as minus 129 favorites. It got up to a 145. It's down to a 138. So we've had a move towards Carolina since the opening line here in this spot. Line opened up at a 6.5 at even money, and it is now a 6.5 at plus 104. So we have a move towards the under and a move towards Carolina in this spot. 51% of the tickets and 79% of the cash on the Devils, 1,019 tickets in. No cash flow on the side, or on the total, my bad, in this game here. Let's get my projections up for the NHL, where we have, I have this game projected for Carolina to be around a 140, 145 favorite in this game, and I have this game projected for 6.3 goals. At a 6.5, I'm kind of staying off the total. It's going to be Pyotr Kochetkov in net for the Hurricanes in this game, who has been pretty good as of late. Hurricanes have won 4 in a row and 6 of their last 7 against the New Jersey Devils. However, what was it? 4 out of those 5 games were in the playoffs last year, where they beat them in 6 games, and then the 2 revenge games this year, they won 3-2 and 1-0. So these have been 3 close. They've been close games the last few times that they've played, and they won in overtime in that game 5 in Carolina of the second round of the playoffs last year. The Devils, it's going to be Nico Dawes in net against Pyotr Kochetkov. The Devils are coming in off of a 4-1 win. It's their first win under Travis Green. I'm still not sold on this coaching change at all. And then we have Carolina coming in, who played really well, granted, against Montreal. They bounced back after that embarrassing loss against Winnipeg, where they were up 3-0 heading into the third period, and then lost 5-3 in regulation. I can only look Carolina in this spot. I lean Carolina -1, but is this something I'm going to be betting? I think I'm just going to lay off this game. For those who want Carolina -1, you're getting a plus price tag for it because it's -145 and it's plus 168. So Carolina -1 is, let's see what it is, 145 and 168. Plus 109 for Carolina -1. My only worries is asking them to win by multiple goals on the road. And also against a Devils team that's just been continuously playing them close. So I'm going to stay off. I think this line's just a little too wide for me to make a move on this game. So it's going to be a pass for this opening one here. Let's see. Celtics first half. Can see it. One thing, it's UPL's birthday today. Do with that as you wish. There you go. Morning, Nick. Morning. Timmy late again? No. Tim Tim was just here for the NBA. We did the NBA first because Tim had something to be at. So now the NHL is last today. What's up, my guys? Let's get it. Let's cash today. Hit the like button, people. Show some appreciation. Subscribe and share. Tim, you know the rest of the same, my dog. Yeah, we already went over the NBA, Marcos. We already went over the NBA for today. So there you go. We already went over the NBA. Yep. F the Lakers. That Bucks game was trash. Yeah. Canes haven't covered the spread against the Devils, but I can only see the money line for the Canes. I can see the draw in this game as well because the Devils need points. It's a divisional game. Carolina is so far in front of New Jersey. I don't really care if they get points. So, yeah, I can lead draw in this game as well. I could see this game going overtime for the Canes. Yep. The only thing I got was fade Minnesota, Avs, and Cavs along with the Coyotes money line and under, and the Coyotes reverse puck line. Love it. Canes money line and under. I could see that. Saving the best part for the last of the show. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. Canes are stacked. They're good. I mean, they're going to be a good hockey team. I still think the Panthers are a better team now. We'll move on, though. The Buffalo Sabres and the Edmonton Oilers. I think I'm going to start with 2 passes on this card. The Oilers are on $2 favorites, total of 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where this game opened up with the Oilers as 180 favorites. It's up to a 185 on Bet Online. Line opened up at a 6.5 minus 106. It's down to a 6.5 at plus 109. So we've had a move towards the under in this game, and we've had a move towards the Oilers in this spot as well. 95% of the tickets are on the Oilers. We've had a slight move towards them on 1,936 tickets in. I'm assuming those are all mostly parlays. 55% of the tickets are on the puck line for the Sabres. 55% of tickets on the under. Lines moving towards the under. And my projections for this game, I mean, I see slight value on the Sabres in this game, but do I want to back the Sabres? No. Why? Because they just traded away a few players and they're selling. They traded away Middlestad. Now, granted, I love the return they got from Middlestad with Bo and Byram. That's going to be a great blue line next year. With hopefully a goalie tandem of UPL and Devin Levi. Hopefully Levi developed well in the AHL this year and it's able to start with the Sabres next year. I'm projecting UPL and Skinner for this matchup here. I really don't have an interest in backing Buffalo, though, right now. I think Buffalo is bet against or pass at the moment. I lean under the total. I think this could be a sneaky little quiet under where we see the Oilers play some good defense. I think the Sabres are an under team going forward as well, which kind of makes me an under team. I bet an under team going 7 of the last 10 meetings have gone under the total between these two teams. Buffalo, 7 of their last 10 games have gone under the total. 4-2 loss against Nashville, 2-1 loss against Toronto. They've gone under 2.5 in 3 straight games. This is a team that's just not been scoring as of late. And throughout that little winning streak, that little winning thing that they did, it was a 3-2, 2-1, 3-2, 2-3, 3-2. So they played a decent amount of unders. I could see this as an under, especially with Edmonton wanting maybe shore up a little bit defensively. They've been playing a little bit more unders as of late. 5 of their last 6 games have gone under the total. I kind of think this could be an under in this spot. I think that the Sabres are a team that we should be betting unders with going forward potentially. And I'm going to take a shot with this under 6.5 at minus 120. I like this spot for the for a low scoring game. And I know a lot of people look at these two teams and see Buffalo and see Edmonton and think low scoring. But one thing with Buffalo is they're not that highest scoring team that they were last year. They're 24th in the league and with for goals at 2.9. And their power play has been bad this year, 16.5%, which is 26th in the league. Their penalty kill 78.2, so not the greatest either. But this is a Buffalo Sabres team. Why are they playing unders this year? Because their power play has fallen off compared to what it was last year. So under 6.5 for me here, and I spotted $1.20. So let's see. Oilers money line, like the Oilers, new additions. Yeah, I can see that. You were on the Yotes last night, so that's why my Wings lost. Yeah, I was all over the Yotes yesterday, plus 120. And Turnsy, you don't listen to my breakdown on the Vegas Golden Knights game tonight between Vegas and Detroit. I think Vegas is the best bet on the board today. Oilers puck line, I can see it. That Sabres fourth line, Yost, Girgensons, and Robinson might score, I feel. Maybe. Taves Thompson playing? Who knows? And if Taves Thompson's not playing, I like the under even more. Back the Sabres as a dog, especially as a huge home underdog. Maybe. I mean, I would lean Sabres in this spot, but am I laying that type of number or am I betting them? No, I don't want to back them right now. We'll move on, though. I do have action in this next game. We have the Nashville Predators taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets in this one here, with the Preds as minus 155 favorites with a total of 6.5 in this game. Line opened up at a 165. It's down to a 150. So kind of a concerning line movement here because I am on Nashville minus 1 in this game, and the line's moved 15 cents towards the Blue Jackets. Line opened up at a 6.5 minus 112. It's down to a 6.5 at minus 110. So we've had a slight move towards the under. We've had a decent move towards the Blue Jackets. 23% of the tickets and 83% of the cash will do that. We have no information on this total in this spot here. I have the I have the Preds as minus 170 favorites in this game. Like that, I project them to be much higher. This could be a little bit of a letdown spot for Columbus coming in off of that win against Edmonton 4-2. They jumped out to an early 3-0 lead, held on late. And Nashville has just been on a heater as of late. They've won 9 of their last 10 games. Their only loss was in overtime. And they've covered the puck line in basically every single one of their wins in the last 9. 5-2, 5-3, 4-1, 4-2, 4-2, 4-1, 6-1, 5-1. The loss was in overtime, and then the 4-2 win over Buffalo. This has been a Nashville team that has just been cruising. They've been playing really well as of late, and all of a sudden they find themselves not only in the playoffs, but they're the 7th seed right now in the West, and they could be flirting with nope, never mind. I was going to say flirt with moving up into a divisional spot, but no, Colorado's up 10 points on them, but only a game in hand for Nashville. I was thinking about Edmonton, who are only 3 points ahead of Nashville, but Edmonton has 3 games in hand. But that doesn't matter because Edmonton's in that 3rd spot in the Pacific. I'm on Nashville -1 in this game, and this is a Nashville team that's more bet on than bet against at the moment. Maybe I'm buying high on Nashville, but I think this is a good letdown spot for the Blue Jackets in this one after the big win against Edmonton. I think this line's too close. I'll take a little bit of Preds here at -1, -102. Let's see. Preds money line, better goalie, yeah. Nashville and reg. Yeah, I played the -1. I like -1 lines better than reg lines because the reg line you can lose in overtime. The -1 line you can push in overtime. So Preds team total over. I won't talk you off of it. It's Danil Tarasov in net, and actually let me take a look what that number is on that Preds team total over. Let's take a look what that is because that's actually really interesting. Let's see what it is. It's 3.5 at -115. Absolutely. I have no problem with that team total over whatsoever. I would definitely lean strongly in that direction. Nashville puck line again. Let's make it 2 in a row. There you go. Nashville used to be so boring to watch, but things changed. Yeah. Zucker and Beauvillier anytime goal. The 2 acquisitions that they made. Yeah, I can definitely see that. Forsberg's been red hot. Absolutely. Preds puck line. What's good, Terry? If you want to hop on and talk some hockey, Tim left me. So if you want to talk some hockey, you know how to get into the StreamYard if you want to talk some NHL for today. I know you did your show last night, but yeah. OT, I could no. I like the -1 line, so I think no. Hey, it's that Terry guy. Yeah, Terry guy. LOL. Yeah. Hello. There you go. Yo, Terry. And then he's saying hi to everyone. Hit the like, or Tim will sneak into your room at night when it's dark and make you wish you did. Exactly. Wait, what? We'll move on, and this one's probably going to be a play that not many people are going to like, but let's get into it here. And by the way, it looks like Tage Thompson's in, and Jordan Greenway is out of the lineup for today. It's kind of interesting. Let's take a look at this next game here. The Boston Bruins and the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Bruins -195 favorites. Total of 5.5 in this game. I'm seeing 6s now, so I don't know why I typed in 5.5. Let me switch it to a 6. There we go. Line open up at a 186. It's up to a 189, so we've had a slight move towards Boston. Line open up at a 6 at even money. It's a 6 at +108 now. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards Boston in this game here. 92% of the tickets are on Boston, only 600 tickets in, so not much to go off of in this game, and it's kind of useless information when we don't have much of a sample size to go over. As for my projection, I have this game priced closer than it should be. I think Boston should be more like -140 in this game rather than -195 in this spot. And this is a game I took Pittsburgh at +175. Pittsburgh is coming in after getting absolutely railed last game, 6-0 against the Washington Capitals, which is absolutely beautiful to see this team get their ass whooped. But the last time this team got their ass whooped, they won 5-3 against the Columbus Blue Jackets. I look for this Pittsburgh team to show some type of heart tonight. As much as I like to point and laugh at Pittsburgh, this is still a veteran-led team. Malkin and Crosby, granted, Letang's an absolute joke with that contract, and he's well past his prime now. And I get it. They traded a few players away. They traded Chad Ruedel away. They traded Jake Gensel away. Jake Gensel wasn't playing, though, right now. So he's been hurt. This is a Pittsburgh team that I think long-term is bet against rather than bet on. But in this specific situation, I'm going to take a shot with plus 775 with the Pittsburgh Penguins in this game to show me something. Show me something. Like that probably was the dagger on your season, losing 6-0 to Washington, if your season wasn't over already after losing 4 of your last 5 games. But Crosby, step up. Malkin, step up. This is a team that's falling apart in front of your face. Maybe Crosby wants to get traded. Maybe Malkin wants to get moved. Letang ain't going anywhere because they signed him to an arbitrage of a contract. I still laugh that Erik Karlsson makes $10 million a year for the next 4 years for them. That's absolutely hilarious. So they're going to be paying him $10 million a year during the rebuild. This Pittsburgh team is not good, but however, I expect them to show something in this game. Plus 175, I'll take a shot with the Penguins. And maybe the better play is the Penguins' first period in this game rather than hoping they stick around for a full 60 minutes because we know how difficult it can be at that age in the nursing home to play 60 minutes of hockey. But show me something today, Pittsburgh. Plus 175 Penguins. Let's take a look here. Oh, Bruins money line. No. Honorary Terry Earle. Turn the cam on and join the show. There you go. B's puck line. I told you this was not going to be very popular. I'm doing parlays right now, so I can't join the show. Game start in just over an hour. Yep. Lock it in for this matchup. A team in black and yellow. Black and yellow will win. There you go. On the Bruins -1.5. Penguins have given up, and Crosby looks defeated. And if the Penguins lose this game, so be it. I took a shot with plus 175. So it is what it is. Also, the Bruins are coming in off of 2 very satisfying wins against the Maple Leafs. So Crosby and Malkin can't play on other NHL teams. It's against the law. I disagree. I think Sidney Crosby does not retire a Penguin. I think they get rid of him. And I don't think he's going to want to go through the rebuild. I think Sidney Crosby's situation will be very similar to Patrick Kane's. That Patrick Kane did not want to go through that rebuild with the Blackhawks. I don't think Crosby is going to want to go through a rebuild at that age with the Penguins. That's just me, though. I don't think he's going to want to go through a rebuild. I think he's going to want to go and try to win one more cup, and maybe he goes up to Canada to do it. Maybe he joins. I don't know. But maybe he goes back to his homeland up in Canada and tries to win a cup with a Canadian team or something along those lines. I don't think Crosby finishes a Penguin. We don't believe you, Terry. Give us a preview of that parlay. Bunting on the first line. Yikes. That's bad. That's really bad. I'll drop some parlays even though they're not advocated on here. Yeah, we don't advocate for parlays here. I'm doing some D-Gen parlays. Oh, boy. Is Nico Dawes good? He is meh at best. My favorite parlay pieces are in the spreadsheet. There you go. I took the over and maybe draw. I mean, I could see a draw in this game. I could very well see a draw. Crosby to the Wild makes the most sense. Maybe at that time, because Crosby still has this year and I believe next year under contract with the Penguins. If they don't trade him, it goes it goes as a free agent. The Wild at that time, it could make sense because Parise would be off the book. Suter will be off the books. They have a lot of younger talent that will be coming in, so they'll have some cap space for someone like a Sidney Crosby in 2 years. So I could absolutely see Crosby to the Wild in 2 years. That could be a very interesting there. Crosby seems like Lemieux and not LeBron going championship chasing. Yeah, but does he want to go through the last couple of years of his career in a rebuild? That's the ultimate question that we have to wonder with Crosby. LOL. Yotes, baby. Ow, 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 woo! Yeah. I'd rather have Draisaitl. Well, yeah, no duh. Draisaitl has the better upside now than Crosby does at that age. That's kind of obvious, but I'm just saying that could be a possibility. I took St. Denis KO plus 300. Yeah. The Wild are the best hockey market in the NHL. Yeah. Sheesh, better hit. I'll look at the spreadsheet after the show. I know you got bankers hidden. There you go. My gut says Billy G was going after Draisaitl, and he very well could. I'm just saying but the timeline of that possible situation, Crosby can become a Wild. Florida Panthers minus 230 favorites, total of 6 in this game. We have, Panthers big favorites here against the Flames in this spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this game here, where the Panthers opened up at 201. It's now 224. The line opened up at a 6 at minus 106. It's a 6 at minus 107. So we've had a move towards the over, and we've had a move towards the Panthers. 79% of the tickets are on the Panthers. No cash flow. Once again, useless information because we don't have nearly enough of a sample size. This game for me is a pretty easy pass. If anything, I'm only looking at the under in this game, but the game has gone to a 5.5 in some spots here. Because I see value on Calgary in this spot, but these are two teams I would rather bet on than bet against. We had the Florida Panthers coming in off of a loss against Pittsburgh, or Philadelphia, where they gave up a goal with less than 30 seconds left. I believe it was 21 seconds left in the game. They lose 2-1. Calgary coming in playing some damn good hockey as of late, and I think that can easily continue. Also, Calgary's kind of played well against this Panthers team. 4 straight wins and 6 of their last 7. I just looked on covers. But Calgary has won 6 of their last 7 games. Their only loss was the last game of a homestand against Seattle. And the Panthers had their 6-game winning streak snapped against the Philadelphia Flyers in their last game. It was a little bit of a tricky spot. First game back after a 3-game road trip where they swept that road trip and covered the puck line in every game. The Panthers have been an absolute cash cow, and I've learned by now I do not bet against the Panthers. When I cap Panthers games, I either look to bet on the Panthers or I look to stay off the game. And this is a stay off because I don't want to fade the Flames. I don't want to fade the Flames at this number either. I think the Flames are a team that are bet on as well. And at plus 195, my numbers lean Flames. But I don't bet against the Panthers. Pretty plain and simple. I bet against the Panthers, I think, once the last couple months, and I lost. I do not bet against the Panthers. That is not something I do. I think the Panthers are the best team in hockey. I've been harping on that for a good 2.5, 3 months now. Before everybody else thought this team was the best team in hockey. I've been on them for a while. I do not bet against the Panthers, but at this point, I don't want to bet against the Flames because the Flames have been a team that's made me money as of late as well. It's a pass for me in this game. I lean Flames. Dylan Strome over 0.5 point. Favorite parlay piece. There you go. I need Cheeto to win today. I hate O'Malley. Cheeto looked drained during the weigh-in. I would love to see Cheeto win today. I would love to. Yeah. Panthers money line. I'm picking Sugar Sean. He's a minus 290 favorite, I believe. So yeah, what's good there? I hate him too, Fernando, but I have money on him inside the distance at plus 225. I think if you like O'Malley, the decision prop's not a bad look either. Capped it all business. I have $0 on Cheeto. Fair. Sprinkling these fellows, anytime goal, Panthers, Reinhart, Bennett, Kachuk, Tarasenko is for Flames, Huberdeau. Yes, this was the trade. This was the Huberdeau, Kachuk. Oh, throw Weegar in there as well, untouchable. Throw Weegar as well. I don't blame you for taking him. Cheeto looked drained. Who has O'Malley fought, though? Aljamain Sterling. Panthers are deep. They're the best team in hockey. I don't think it's particularly close. Last 5 meetings, the Flames beat the Panthers 4 out of 5. The Flames have had the Panthers number. They absolutely have. But we'll move on here in this next one here. Another big favorite, minus 230 for the Washington Capitals. I'm seeing 240 now. Total of 6 in this game. The Capitals coming in off of arguably their most satisfying win of the year, pummeling the Pittsburgh Penguins 6-0. I mean, huge win for them. Line opened up at a 245. Down on Bet Online, it's down to 209 on Bet Online. So we've had a move towards the Blackhawks in this game. Line opened up at a 6. It's down to a 5.5. So we've had a move towards the under, and we've had a move towards the Blackhawks in this game. 57% of the tickets are on the puck line. Once again, I have basically no information on any markets with these teams. So we'll just look at the line history. We won't be looking at cash flow because none of this cash flow is any help today. Which is fine. I don't really use those numbers when it comes to hockey. Anyway, I like Chicago in this spot a little bit. I think I'm going to move on the Blackhawks in this game at plus 200. The one thing is that it is tough to trust the Blackhawks on the road. Obviously, this team is 5-25-1 on the road this year. They are coming in off of a road win, though. They beat Arizona on the 5th, and they've had a few days off. On the flip side, the Capitals are coming in off of a huge 6-0 win against the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Washington Capitals are not out of the playoffs yet. This is a team that is still like a little gnat. Just you can't get rid of them. We can't get rid of this Washington Capitals team this year. They're 5 points behind the Tampa Bay Lightning for that last wild card spot. Granted, they have to jump the Islanders, and they're 3 points behind the Islanders with the game in hand, but they're 5 points behind the Lightning with 3 games in hand. They're 5 points behind the Red Wings with 2 games in hand, and they're 7 points behind the Flyers with 3 games in hand. So realistically, this Capitals team could flirt with a wild card spot still, or they can flirt with taking Philly's spot still. So I think Philly, Detroit, Tampa Bay are all very vulnerable right now when it comes to those wild card spots. I am interested in Chicago in this game. I can only look Chicago in this game with Washington coming in off of that very satisfying win over Crosby and the Penguins, 6-0. I don't want to back a team off of their best performance of the year, and I think that was their best performance of the year, the Capitals right there. So it is Blackhawks or nothing for me. I'm going to stay off in this spot, though. At 5.5, I would lean over the total at 5.5. It's a 6, though, so we'll see. There we go. So let's take a look here at the chat. Pass, yeah. Forgot we have him. Okposo not playing. No, he's not yet. The UFC only has room for 1 DDP. The Diamonds time has come, unfortunately. There you go. Dylan Strome versus his former team and has a point in 8 of his last 9 games. There you go. Might sprinkle some money on that camera. There you go. FAU, Liberty, and Houston. Good luck. Pyotr Yan at minus 140. There you go. Good luck. Capitals in the under again for me. There you go. Major pass. Sterling isn't even that good, though. All he does is hug people. He's not good in striking. Look at what happened with him against Yan. Yan was whooping him until that illegal knee. I don't know about that, but okay. Bolts and wings are falling. Caps and Isles could both make it, surprisingly. And if you want, let me take a look here. Because I remember looking at it this morning. I think the Islanders are minus 125 to make the playoffs. And you can get the Washington Capitals to make the playoffs at plus 680. I don't hate that look. Plus 680 for the Capitals to make the playoffs. That's at FanDuel for that. So kind of think that's kind of interesting as well. Supness, what's good? Lex. I also have Almeida money line, even money in my pocket. There you go. Ovechkin over 3.5 shots on goal. I can see it. FAMU, Tarleton, Nevada. All right, let's get into Florida A&M. Or Florida A&M. That line's spot on. Tarleton. We have that game, Tarleton at a 1, so it's a slight lean towards Seattle at 2.5. And Nevada, we have that game around 7.5, so it's a lean towards the Wolfpack there at the 6.5 number. Almeida decision plus 450. Good luck. What do you think about Dustin Poirier plus 180? I don't cap the UFC. I don't even know who he's fighting. So we'll move on, though. I didn't bet the Blackhawks, but I got an ugly dog in this game. So let's get into it here. The Ottawa Senators are minus 220 on the road with a total of 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here. Line opened up at a 210. It's down to a 205 for the Senators. So we've had a move towards the Sharks. Line opened up at a 6.5 at minus 125. It's down to a 120. So we've had a move towards the under in this spot as well. Remember, we don't have much cash flow in this one, so we're going to just bypass that. We have the Ottawa Senators laying 220 on the road, and I get it. It's the San Jose Sharks, but who are the hell are the Senators laying 220 on the road to right now? I want nothing to do with the Sens in this game. Are you kidding me? The Senators that have lost 6 games in a row, 5 of them on the road. This team is 18-2 on the road this year, and you're laying minus 220 on them. They lost to Washington 6-3, Nashville 4-1. They go home. They lose to the Yotes 5-3. They lose on the road to Philly, on the road to Anaheim, and on the road to LA. This team hasn't played back-to-back games where they didn't have to travel since February 22nd, 24th. Since then, they were at home against Vegas. They went to Washington, to Nashville, back home, to Philly, to Anaheim, to LA. Now they're in San Jose, and I don't even think that's the end of their road trip after. No, then they go, and this kind of travel from hell continues for Ottawa. I think Ottawa's going to be a great bet against team. And after today, they head to San Jose. Then they go back to Ottawa to play Pittsburgh. They go to Columbus. They go to the Islanders. They go back home to play the Hurricanes. They go to the Bruins. They go back home to play the Blues. They go to the Devils. They go back home to play the Oilers. They go to the Sabres. They go back home to play the Red Wings or the Blackhawks. They go to Winnipeg. They go to Minnesota. And then on April 4th and 6th, they get to play two games in a row without traveling, where they are at home against Florida and at home against New Jersey, before they get to hit the road again for 3 straight games against Washington, Florida, Tampa Bay, and then Montreal at home, New York, and Boston on the road. So this team will play one more game this year where they don't have to travel to their next location. That's terrible for the Ottawa Senators there. Give me the Sharks at plus 180. I got plus 168 last night. I got a bad number. Give me the Sharks in this game. Who are the hell the Senators laying $2 on the road right now, the way they're playing? Absolutely not. Give me the Sharks here in this one at a dog price. Just the over, maybe the draw. Fair. Not a bad price. The people are counting him out. If Dustin clips his opponent, it's curtains for him. If Burns still plus money, I'll double down on that. Yeah. Sens puck line, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Defense might be very optional. Might try over 7.5, over 8.5. Yeah, I mean, the Sharks just gave up 7 goals to the Islanders, of all teams, in this spot. Yeah, and I understand the 6.5. And I'm projecting Toronto in net here for the Sharks. So, I mean, even if we bump it up here, I could definitely see an over in this game. And actually, I kind of want to take a little Sharks team total over, full game over as well. Maybe triple down on this ugly game with some more Sharks action here. Sharks team total over 2.5 minus 130. Sign me up for some of that because I think they get 3 goals here. I think this game is 3-3 at some point at one point. So over 6.5 in this game as well. So ugly game, but I really, really like it. So this game should be a high-scoring, back-and-forth, defense optional, and the Sharks win. Give me a 5-4 Sharks win in this one here. Schedulers hate the Sens. Yeah. Sharks burnt me, but I love pain. Sharks, yes, I'm on San Jose here. I'm on San Jose money line, plus 168. Team total over 2.5, minus 130. Full game over 6.5. Yeah. I said on my show, you will love this game. Absolutely! It's a bum fight, number one. And why are the Senators minus 220? Now, if the Senators win this game after choking all the games they have been as big favorites, there's untrustworthy favorites in this game. Pretty plain and simple. But yeah, yeah. You know me. I love my bum fights. So, and I love my ugly dogs. Ugly dogs are fun because nobody wants them. So I'll take the ugly dogs. This one, I don't know how ugly of a dog it is, but I like the dog in this one as well. We have the Philadelphia Flyers. They are at the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Lightning minus 140 at home with a total of 6.5 in this game. We have the Flyers coming in off of a 2-1 win against Florida. And we have the Lightning coming in off of a bad loss. Line opened up at a 140. It stayed there. Line opened up at a 6.5 at even money. It stayed there. The Lightning are bet against for me at the moment. I have absolutely no interest in the Lightning. Granted, these two teams just played on February 27th in Philadelphia, and the Flyers won 6-2. I'm back on the Flyers in this game at plus 122 is what I got it at. We are at Amalie Arena, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay 19-9-4 at home, but they've really struggled at home as of late. 3 straight home games, and the best they've done was a shootout win against Montreal. They lose 6-3 against Calgary. We had Calgary in that game. We did have Montreal, but we had Montreal team total over as well, so we split out on that game. We had Buffalo in that game against Tampa Bay. We had Tampa Bay team total under. We almost bet the Flyers in that game there. We've been fading this Tampa Bay team with pretty decent success, and I think this is another spot where I think the Lightning are to be faded until they figure it out. Oh, okay. I definitely am not interested in the Blackhawks anymore. Real quick, Arvik Soderblom is going to be in net for the Blackhawks today, which is probably going to land me on this over. We'll quickly touch back. We'll get back to the Lightning game in just a second. Arvik Soderblom's a net, which changes a lot of things. With Mrazek, I have no interest in laying a number. Also, it's going to be Kevin Lankinen for Nashville, which I have no problem with. I just want to touch back on this game because Arvik Soderblom's a net, and he's somebody that I really like to fade for the Blackhawks. Now, the Blackhawks have not been very good in general. And with Soderblom and net, I'm going to take the over 6 in that game with Washington and Chicago. And I'm going to grab the Capitals team total. Do I want to grab the Capitals team total? I'm going to grab the Capitals team total as well. With the confirmation of Soderblom, it's Operation Fade Soderblom, and we will be doing just that. Capitals team total over, full game over. With Mrazek, I wasn't really interested in that game, but with Soderblom, I am. Over 6 in that game as well. Back to this game as well. I'm on the Flyers in this game. Pretty plain and simple. They shouldn't be a dog in this game. I would like to fade the Lightning until further notice. This is a team that maybe their best is behind them. Vasilevsky's been terrible this year. His goalie rating's below 1, or is a 1.04, which 1 is average, and you want to be below 1. He's been bad this year. You can get Philly at plus 130 right now. I think that's a great number if you like the Flyers. Flyers team total over 2.5 minus 155. A little chalky for me there, but I'll be on the Flyers money line in this spot. I do not trust Tampa Bay at this number. No 1-800-GAMBLER. Yeah. Got to rewind for the NBA. No more plays in the scroller. We haven't done that in a while, but yeah. Pass. So Capitals super puck line. Yeah, I can see that. First game, looking at Bulls. 8 points with the Clippers is too much. I can see that. So Caps minus 1.5. Yes. And OV goal. Yeah, I can see that as well. Oh, damn. South Carolina plus 185. Fave. Anybody on South Carolina today? Who's South Carolina playing? South Carolina against Mississippi State. They're not plus 185 dog. Are you talking about baseball? Is it baseball? They're not a plus 185 dog. We'll move on to the next matchup though. We got 5 games left on this NHL card, where we have the Toronto Maple Leafs traveling to Montreal to take on the Canadiens. Minus 210 for the Maple Leafs, total 6.5 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where we had this game opened up with Toronto at a minus 201. It's down to a 197. Line opened up at a 6.5 minus 106. It's a 6.5 at minus 114. As for usual, we don't have cash flow in this game, so that's useless. I moved on Montreal in this game, It's another ugly dog I like, and I may have too many ugly dogs on this card, but this is one I have circled that I like to bet, and that is Montreal when they play Toronto. This is with the season Montreal is having. This is their Stanley Cup right here, and these two teams. This is only their second time they've played this year. The previous time Toronto won as minus 290 favorites on opening night. We had the Montreal Canadiens. That was one of my favorite plays of the opening week of the NHL. They lost in a shootout, which was frustrating, 6-5. Montreal is coming in off of a 4-1 loss. Previous to that, they went to overtime 3 straight games. And Toronto coming in losing, winning 3 of the last 5. The only 2 games they lost, identical 4-1 scores against the Boston Bruins in Boston and at home. This series is split the last 5, and last 10, even though Montreal has been a dog in every single one of them here. Montreal always plays Toronto tough. Granted, the last 2 times they played was 7-1 Toronto, 5-1 Toronto, but previous to that, 3-2 Montreal, 4-3 Montreal, 3-2 Toronto, 4-2 Montreal, 5-2 Montreal, 2-1 Toronto, 3-1 Montreal. I'm on Montreal in this game. I got Montreal plus 173. I think this line's too wide. And with the season that the Montreal Canadiens are having, this may be the last game they get up for. Granted, I think they play the Maple Leafs 2 more times. They play the Maple Leafs 1 more time, and it's in Montreal. So I think this is a game where Montreal gets up for it. Toronto coming in off of another loss against Boston. I get it. But at this number, I'm going to take a shot with Montreal. Let's get back to the chat here. Come on, click. My laptop being slow. There we go. College basketball, MGM showing me they're plus 185. They're not. Unless I read my spreadsheet wrong. I read my spreadsheet wrong. They are dogs. That makes me like Mississippi State. So yeah, that would make me like Mississippi State. I think they're favorites for a reason. Leafs money line, no. The Gamecocks are underdogs. That's not a typo. My bad. Yeah, Gamecocks, let's ride. Leafs owe me more money than I remember. That Canadiens game was pain. They were up multiple times and lose in the end in a shootout. Yeah, that was bad. OT, I can definitely see a draw in this game. Montreal first period and full game, also over and draw. I can see that. I could definitely see that. We'll move on, though. The New York Rangers are taking on the St. Louis Blues. The Rangers minus 215 favorites in this game. Total of 6 in this spot. We'll get up the line history here in this one, where the New York Rangers at home opened up as, let's get this game up. They opened up as minus 201. It's now 207, so we've had to move towards the Rangers. Line opened up as 6.5 6 at plus 105. It's now a 6 at plus 107. Let's take a look at my projections for this game here. Why is my laptop being stupid? Literally click. Thank you. We have this game. I have the Rangers projected around minus 160 favorites in this game. So I see a slight edge on the Blues. The Blues have won back-to-back games against these New York Rangers. They were both at home. They've won 3 of the last 4, and they've won 5 of the last 7 against the Rangers. So an interesting little thing there. The Blues have lost 2 in a row, both on the road. They've played 6 of their last 7 games on the road. The only game they played was at home was the 3-1 win against Minnesota. And they played Boston on this road trip before they head back to St. Louis for a 4-game homestand, which will have LA, Minnesota, Anaheim, and Columbus on there. I have no interest in this game. Obviously, I don't want to fade the Rangers off of 2 losses, though. And they're rested. The last time they played was on March 4th, a 4-2 loss against the Florida Panthers, which was their second consecutive loss because they lost to the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-3 to shootout on the second as well. This is even a pass for me. My numbers lean Blues, but I'm not going to back the Blues in this spot here. It's a pass for me here. Mississippi State. I got it here. I mean, you can get a top 20 team for plus 185. It's trap. Rangers money line. You liked all these chalky dogs. You like all these chalky favorites. I'm always down for Blues in the under. Buchnevich and Sammy Blau, as well as Thomas. See it. Move on. This is my favorite spot on the card. I bet this last night. The lines moved, which makes it a little bit less of my favorite spot on the card. But let's get into it here. I think this is a very, very good opportunity in this game. Line opened up at a 176, and the lines moved up to a 198. The market agrees with me here. The lines moved 22 cents towards the Vegas Golden Knights, and I bet this game last night when they were minus 175 and plus 130 for the -1 line here at minus 120. Line opened up 6.5 at even money, and it has not moved. The Vegas Golden Knights, I had this game projected Vegas Golden Knights minus 220. Let's get into it here. For starters, this season, this will be the 9th game that the Red Wings have not had Dylan Larkin. They're 2-6 in those games so far in those games without Dylan Larkin. And one of their wins was against the Blackhawks. So they've only won, and their other win was against St. Louis. The other games where they played teams in playoff spots were were teams in playoff spots without Larkin. They lose 3-2 to the Rangers. They lose 6-3 to the Stars. They lose 2-1 to the Hurricanes. They lose 1-0 to the Flyers. They lose 7-2 to the Avalanche. And they lose 4-0 to the Coyotes. Other than the Blues and the Blackhawks, the 2 wins, they failed to reach more than 3 goals in any of those games. And this Red Wings team is to be faded right now. They've lost 4 in a row, including the last 2 on the road against Colorado, Arizona. They lost 7-2 to Arizona. And they lost 4-0 to Arizona. And when we look at this game here, Vegas is coming in struggling as well. They've lost 4 games in a row, and they've lost 7 of their last 8. Their only game that they won was against the Toronto Maple Leafs. But I think the situation plays really well for them. This is their second game back at home. You fade them against the Canucks, and then now you back them here at home against the Red Wings on a back-to-back and a third game in 4 days where they've had to go from altitude to the desert to Vegas. And it's going to be James Reimer in net as well. So the Vegas Golden Knights -1 for me is my favorite play of the card. And at this point, you'll probably have to lay puck line because I think this -1 line has gotten too expensive for this game. Because we have Vegas as -210 now. Good God, this line's moved. I'm so glad I got in at what I got in at. And you can get the puck line for plus 125 now. It's -138 for the -1 line. So if you want to play the -1 line at -138, I'm fine with it. The puck line plus 125 as well. I can see that. I love the Vegas Golden Knights in this spot. Also, it's going to be the second game with Hannafin in the lineup. It's the second game with Mantha in the lineup. So there we go. So love Vegas Golden Knights in this game. -1, -120. See, Vegas puck line. Yep. Detroit, still a playoff team. No. Not without Larkin. Without Larkin, this team is no better than the Penguins. How do we feel about some PGA bets today? I got money, lots of money on Scotty. Do you like one of the others to win with a nice money line? I do not cap golf. I apologize. I do not cap golf. Sancho. Okay, I was wrong about the first game as a Golden Knight. Mantha, anytime goal again. There you go. Blue and gold parlay. Blues, Preds, Sabres, Nuggets. Good luck there. But yeah, favorite spot on the card, Vegas Golden Knights. We'll move on where we have the I think probably the best defensive matchup of the night, where we have the Vancouver Canucks taking on the Winnipeg Jets. The Canucks minus 140 favorites in this game with a total of 5.5 in this spot. Let's take a look at the line history in this one here, where we have Vancouver opened up 137. It's up to a 143, so we've had to move towards the Canucks. And the line opened up at a 118 for the 5.5. It's now a 114 for the 5.5 here. I have this game projected at 4.87 goals. So I have this projected, I believe, the lowest scoring game of the night. I'm going to move on this under 5.5. I think that's just something I have to move on in this game is the under. They saved Demko for this game. It was Laurent Brossoit last night who shut out the Kraken. And one thing we've noticed with this Canucks team, as of late, they have gone back to that defensive hockey. 2-1 against the Ducks, 2-1 against the Kings, 3-1 against the Knights. They head back after the road trip here. The Jets here with a 3-0 win last night have been a little bit of an over team. They had gone over in 3 in a row before that. But give me Hellebuck and Demko, and I'll give you an under 5.5 in this game. So that's going to be where I'm going to look to move in this spot. I see value on this number here. So 5.5 at even money. I want to see if I can get what the 6 would be in this spot. I just want to see what the 6 is in this game. 6 at minus 135. I'll take the 5.5 at even money in this game. 5.5 even money. Jets Canucks under. There we go. Head back to the chat, and then we'll have one more game, and then that's it. Jets, lean Jets money line. I like the Jets and the under. Yeah, just give me the under. 5.5 is going to be a sweat. I usually prefer the 6 and a draw, maybe 2. The 6 is a minus 135. I just opted for the 5.5. Final game of the card, where the LA Kings are hosting the Dallas Stars. Minus 120 for the Kings, total of 6 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where we have the Kings. They opened up as minus 114 favorites, got up to a 116, it's back to a 114, so no line movement on the side. Lines opened up at a 6.5, but it was juiced minus 128 to the under, and now it's a 6. So we have the 6 here in this spot as well. And I have this game projected for 6.09 goals, so I think that line's correct. I have the Kings projected as around a 140 favorite in this game, and it's going to be Scott Wedgwood, and I'm projecting Cam Talbot if it's Red Light Rittich or Big Save Dave, because he's been really good as of late. I would lean in that. I like it even more. I'm on LA in this spot. LA has been playing much better as of late. The Dallas Stars are not a team I particularly trust too much. The Dallas Stars are on 4 straight wins, but you play Anaheim, San Jose the last 3, and they had to go past regulation for both those San Jose games. This matchup has been very Stars dominated as of late, 2 in a row for the Stars, 4 of the last 5, and 7 of the last 9 have gone towards the Stars in this matchup here. But Stars on a back-to-back, traveling. Granted, going from Anaheim to LA is not a bad travel. But for this game here for me, I do like this spot for the Kings at minus 120 price tag. I think there's value on that number there. So I'm taking the LA Kings at $1.20 to wrap up my card here in the NHL. We'll head back to the chat, and then we will wrap it up here. Kings money line. There you go. I like the under and the Kings. There we go. But that is everything for today's card. We'll quickly recap, and then we will head on out. So let's start with the recap in the NBA, where we are rocking with, we're rocking with over 207, Charlotte and Brooklyn. I am on the Detroit Pistons team total over 113.5 and the full game over 234.5. And then I am on the Jazz plus 12.5 and the Jazz, small sprinkle on the Jazz money line. For the NHL, I am on a couple early spots here. starting in just half an hour. I'm on the Sabres Oilers under 6.5, as well as the Preds -1. I'm on the Pittsburgh Penguins at +175. I am on the Capitals team total over 3.5, -115, full game over 6 at -103. Give me the Sharks at +168. You can get +185 now for it. I'm also on the Sharks team total over 2.5, the full game over 6.5 as well. I'm on the Philadelphia Flyers. I'm on the Montreal Canadiens. My favorite play of the day, Vegas Golden Knights -1. It's a little juicy now, but if you don't want the juice, +125 for the puck line, I'm cool with as well. Winnipeg, Vancouver under 5.5, and Dallas, LA. Dallas, LA. I am on the Kings at -120, and for some reason that line flipped. I don't like that at all. I don't know why that line flipped. That's annoying. But that is everything for today's slate. We will catch you guys same time, same place for the Earle Sports Bet Show tomorrow morning, anywhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, good luck, everyone.